Welcome to Espresso Yourself, Mom, Teacher, and Runner Talk, the podcast where lesson plans meet lattes and long runs.
We're four women juggling the journey of motherhood, teaching personal goals, and a whole lot of caffeine.
Here, we keep it real, the messy, the meaningful, and the moments in between.
So grab your coffee and join us for honest conversations, a few laughs, and a reminder that you're not in this alone.
Welcome back to Espresso Yourself. This week, we are going to talk about all of the school madness that happens during this holiday season as we near our winter breaks and all of the holidays that are celebrated in our classrooms and in our homes and how we balance and manage it all. But before we get to that, let's catch up.
So mine absolutely has to do with holiday madness. It's just kindergarten in December is insane. I don't know if I had blocked it out from before, like at the beginning of my career. It's been 15 years since I've been in kindergarten. Or what, or maybe it wasn't as bad in first grade or second grade. Fifth grade, it's kind of Allyson, I'm sure you know, the kids are excited, and Katie too, the kids are excited in the older grades, but it's not crazy. Well, in kindergarten, we have everything and anything every day. So we got back from Thanksgiving break, and then kids were bringing in candy because on Friday, 140 kindergartners went into the cafeteria and built gingerbread houses. And it was controlled chaos. Actually, it worked out really well. So we collected milk cartons. I collected them a couple weeks ago, and I got enough for each one of my students. Then parents came in on Wednesday and they hot glued graham crackers to the milk cartons. And then they individually gave the kids bags of candy. And then they had a tub of icing for 4 kids and popsicle sticks. So they scooped it out with the popsicle sticks and then did the icing and then put the candy on there. Some of them turned out really good. And some of them I was like, yes, that is very much your personality. But that was the start of all our holiday madness. We have holidays around the world coming up this week. So each of us are going to teach tomorrow the holiday that we're teaching. And then Tuesday, we're going to rotate between 3 classes and teach the same lesson. So I'm going to get 3 different classes. And then Wednesday, the last 3 classes. And so I'm going to teach my lesson 7 times. And every teacher is going to do that. They're just all going to rotate. And then we have Grinch Day coming up. We have Reindeer Day coming up. And then a Pajama Day mixed with our kindergarten winter performance. All in the next 2 weeks.
I remember doing the gingerbread houses, though, with the milk cartons when I was little. It's such a fun memory.
It is a time-honored tradition. Yes, it is awesome. And the kids get so excited about it. And, we just have to be like, don't eat the candy right now. Definitely don't eat those graham crackers because there's hot glue on them. But
that's what my nephew did yesterday. My mom hot glued them. And all of a sudden I see him eating it. I'm like, you're eating glue right now. He's like, huh? It's like, yeah, grandma glued those so that they would be sturdy. I was like, you're eating it now. Oh, kids.
Yeah. I think one or 2 of my kids ate some candy, but that was it. But we were very specific because these gingerbread houses, the frame of them had been in my classroom for 3 days because we needed some place to store all of these. So they were like, oh my gosh, let's do it. And I said, don't touch it. Don't touch it, because if it breaks, someone is going to be sad. And I don't know, whose it's going to be or whatever. It's just too much to keep track of. But that's been pretty fun. And then I forgot. See, this is I turn away for 1 second and then I forget my life. Thursday, we're going on a field trip to the circus. There's a circus in Sarasota, which is 30 minutes north of us. And it's by the big mall. And yeah, so we're going to the circus.
You don't need to go. You have one already.
This is true, but it's a free field trip. So amongst this holiday madness, we are also going to take these kids on a 30-minute bus ride hope that they're not like, so we eat lunch at 10:35. Okay. We're not going to get back to school till like 12:45. I'm like, kids, eat a big breakfast. We'll eat a snack before we go. But like your lunch is going to be pretty late. So, yep, it's just added to the holiday madness.
How many field trips do you guys get to take?
This year we're going to take 4 field trips.
We get to take one.
Um, some of our field trips are just over to the high school, though. Like if the high school's putting on a play for kids, we go over there. And so that's free. This circus field trip also happens to be free. We just had to get enough tickets. And then one of them, we applied for a grant because if we go far enough, we can't use the school buses. We have to use coach buses.
Yeah, that's what we're
which is
doing on
also
our field.
interesting. I had never come across that before. So for sure 3, but I think there's a 4th one in the mix. It's a lot. It's a lot. But there's no like cap per se on field trips. It just needs to be approved is all.
Yeah. So when you guys go to the high
But,
school or local, do you not have to pay for transportation? Even if you're using your school buses, you don't have to pay like for the bus drivers
we
and all that?
have our own, like we don't rent school buses from like whatever company. We have the school
Yeah.
buses for our county. So
Yeah, even if
the
we
bus
use
drivers
those, we still have to pay it.
really?
Yeah, like because when I taught different grades, like if we use our school buses, like our district
Yeah.
buses, and we went to the zoo, which is 20 minutes away, we still had to
Mhm.
pay for transportation. Like we had to charge our kids, like when we give the field trip fee, transportation was part of that. That's why I think we're so limited on what we can do because we have to charge buses.
I want to say no, we don't have to pay, or if we do, then the school
School
covers
just
it.
takes care of it. That's nice.
I guess. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure, but we pack those buses like 3 to a seat. I mean, these kids are little, but 3 to a seat is still a lot.
Well, that's so this will be our third
But
year going. The first year we got a generous donation for charter buses. We went down to the Indianapolis Children's Museum. So it's a 2-hour drive. And
I've heard
then
good things.
last year, the kids loved it. We're like, okay, let's do this again. Last year we had a generous donation from a family who owns a lot of their own businesses. So they bought or they paid for the whole trip. We just had to pay transportation. So that was doable for us. Or no, they paid for transportation. We just had to pay for the tickets, which were cheap for field trip tickets. They were like $8 versus your 20 plus that you paid
Oh,
just to go.
yeah.
So this year we're going again, but we've got a group of parents to help us like fundraise because we don't have any donations. Like we're trying to raise over $4,000 just to take these kids down there. So because we have to take charter buses
And that
and loan are
yeah,
almost
and
fourth.
that's gotta be an extended day, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We leave so school starts at 8:20 and we'll try to be out the doors by 8:45 and then we don't get back usually till like 6. So, but it's fun. It's a good experience for kids because we've got several kids that have never been down there, will never experience that kind of a bus ride so yeah. I'm just curious though on your field trips. It's interesting to hear like the different like schools and what you guys get to do or
I think
can
it's
do. I
more of a
shouldn't say get.
kindergarten thing for yeah, for us, I think it's more of just like, this is what kindergarten chooses to do at my school,
Mhm.
and just having those opportunities, but I like, in the upper grades, this, like, breaks my heart, but they don't get to go on a lot of field trips because if you go on a field trip, you're not learning that day, and then it sets you behind, and, they're already worried about testing, so it, like, makes me really sad to say that, but, I mean, our kids, they need those everyone needs those experiences, but I don't know. In kindergarten, that's just what they've chosen to do, and because I'm so new on that team, I say, "Okay, let's go. Let's do it." But yeah, that's all of our that's my update. Kindergarten holiday madness.
Yeah. This week,
Sorry, y'all. I had headphones issues.
oh, you're good. No, I felt like, it's always that between Thanksgiving to Christmas break, it either goes really fast or really slow or it's just hectic. Now I feel like, oh my gosh, we only have 2 weeks. How in the world do we only have 2 weeks? because this week was like the longest, shortest week. I don't know any other way to describe it because we got all that snow, which I had sent you girls those pictures and videos. Like we had a ton of snow. And then, because we didn't record this past weekend. So we didn't even get to catch up on that. So we ended up with no school on Monday. So we had to do the whole remote thing with both boys. And then the next day we had a delay. So, and we're supposed to do our switches. We had like 20 minutes in the morning. Like our reading is split. So we had to have reading, specials, and then reading. Well, our specials aren't all the same because of sometimes we have a science block, sometimes we don't. And then we're practicing for our 4th grade holiday show. That's this coming week. And we're like, let's just keep our own kids in the morning and we'll switch after specials because we're coming off a Thanksgiving break. We had a remote day. We're only going to have 20 minutes by the time they come in with all their stuff. And it was just like, I was so frazzled because Monday I was trying to do remote. I was kind of winging it with my reading because I wasn't really sure what I wanted. I didn't like what I had. And then Tuesday, I think I was just even more flustered trying to come off of a remote day and whatnot. So then Wednesday, we were back to a normal day and it felt so good to have a normal day. But of course, my principal came in to do an observation, like her long observation during my reading. But I felt so much better because after those 2 days, I finally had a chance to sit and really truly dive in and work on things. So I was like, at least I felt better when she came in. She even complimented me at the end of the day on it. I still don't have my review back. I would have loved to have that by now so that I could check. But hold on. But yeah, so it just felt like the slowest week, but also like it was shorter in the idea that we only had 3 full days, but it just still drug on. And now I'm like, okay, we have 2 weeks. Like it's going to go fast now. Like the kids are like, our show's next week. I'm like, yeah, it's 2 weeks till winter break. Like, holy cow, we only have 2 weeks to fit all of the rest of what we need in before break. Like it's crazy. But otherwise, things have been good. They're just the holiday busy, which is what we'll get into. But Katie, you said before we got on here that as we are getting busy, you're kind of starting to slow down a bit more.
So it's weird and opposite of y'all. A lot of people don't want me in rooms. There's not a lot of training going on because people are just trying to get ready to like wrap up their semester with like final exams, semester exams, like Christmas shows and all that. I think I have one filming this week, like coming up this week, but the rest of it is just kind of like some meetings here and there. But last week, I ended up taking Monday off because I woke up with like a really bad case of vertigo. And it started Saturday, but then it went away and then it came back Monday. And I was like, well, I have nothing on my calendar, so I can take the day. So I took the whole day off and just stayed home. So kind of like you, Allison, I had like a long, short week. It was weird. But there was like one day this past week, I was sitting there and I was like, I finished everything for the day. And it was like 1:00. And I was like, I can't leave till 4:30. So I just like tried to find some things to do. I started working ahead, but I'm in this weird holding pattern to where I have stuff done, but I have to get like things approved or wait for things to like get done. So like I had some more meetings where some more things got approved, but I don't know. It's like this weird, I'm kind of slowing down. And so I don't know, like I'm used to the hustle bustle moving and I'm not. So I've offered like if people need me on campuses to help, like, look, I'm here to help. But office wise, like I don't have a lot going on. So it's weird. I don't know.
That's awesome. Like, I would welcome anyone in my classroom. We have a lot of testing to get done.
Yes.
So, like, even someone else managing my students, because all of our testing is one-on-one. So
Yes,
I have
it
to
is.
have something for 18 of my students to do while I pull one at a time, and then they can't bother me. I would welcome another person in the room for sure, just to like walk around. Are you okay? This is what you do. Here's the directions. Man, I wish people would invite you into into their classrooms.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I'm kind of offering, but I also have like some other meetings this week. So it's like just trying to fit people in pockets that I do have. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. Uh Tomorrow I have like 2 meetings like sandwiched at the end of my days, like beginning and end of my days. So like my middle of my day is like quiet. So I don't know. But besides that, running wise, like I'm amping up. Like I'm heading into like peak weeks. And then as y'all saw, football season's like kind of amping up, kind of ending. And so but running's been real cool because I got to take a group to part of our marathon course yesterday. Um And so we ran along the bayou, which is like this last 8 miles. No, not 8, 6 miles of the marathon. So like the last 10K. And so I was able to like take a group out there. And it was really cool because a lot of like couple of them they just moved out here. So they haven't been out there. They got to see it. And then I got to take them to our favorite like breakfast taco place, which was really cool. Um, but no, it's been fun just kind of like focusing on that because I did 18 yesterday. I have 18 next week, and then I have 20 in 2 weeks. So I'm a little over a month away from my race. I was telling my boss, I was like, I'm going to start snacking more. You're going to see like food, and I'm just going to be snacking. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah, this is the time where I'll just get hungry at random times of the day. And she's like, oh, okay, which they set me up with so many snacks. So I have so much like just runner munchy food in my office. But no, it's weird. I'm like amping up in like other parts of my life, but then like slowing down in work. So it's a weird balance.
I'm over here just trying to do, not trying, I am doing it. But every year, I can't remember if I told you girls this or not the last time we chatted, but ever since like my husband and I started dating, we've always done, now there were some years I didn't do it or I wasn't successful. Mile a day challenge between November and December, or not November,
Mhm.
but Thanksgiving to Christmas, the mile a day, which seems like, oh, that's so easy, right? A mile. But there are times where it's like your day gets away from you. And I'm like, oh, crap, like it's 10 o'clock. I got to go home and still do this. Like Friday, we had our winter fest at school and I helped set up for it so that I could be a mom during it. And then we stayed the entire time. And then after we went to Walmart because Oliver's best friend's little brother had the most adorable Grinch sweatsuit. And I was like, where did you get that? She's like, Walmart. I'm like, we're going after. And the boys were like, no, we don't want to go. I'm like, we're going to Walmart. So of course, it's like already 7:30, almost 8. We go to Walmart. They had his size. They had one left. So of course, I had to snag it. Then Oliver wanted a sweatshirt. And then I got a couple sweatshirts of Grinch. And then we went over to Dick's because I was like, well, we're right here. And my nephew, his Christmas gift that he wanted was from Dick's. So I was like, let's go over and see if we can find that. And they had it. But then they had like their lifestyle baseball like shirts and stuff out. And I was like, hey, would you wear this? And he's like, yeah. I go, what about these shorts? I'm like, but I don't know what size you are anymore. So I had him like try them on and he put the shorts on over. I'm like, okay. So I like hung them up like right on the outside. He's like, are you going to send that to Aunt Amanda? Because he doesn't like clothes, but he thinks those are cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll let her know. And like we were walking to the checkout and they had like the Gooder sunglasses and Hayes was like, Mom, I forgot. Like I want a new pair of pink sunglasses. I was like, all right. I was like, hey, are they like these? And I pulled out the pink ones that I have. He's like, yeah, just like those. I'm like, okay. So we pay for it's like a baseball sleeve thing. So it's real small. We pay for it. We get out to the car and I'm like, I go to get in. I was like, oh crap, shoot. And they're like, what? I go, I think I left my phone on the counter in there. And they're like, Oliver's like, I can go in there with you, Mom. I'm like, no, I'll go in. I'll get it. Like, it'll be fine. I'll go in and just, you guys stay in the car. So I like went back in. I quickly like grabbed this stuff really quick because I never have an opportunity when they're not around. So I was like, grab it, went back up to the counter and she's like, I have a brown bag. I was like, okay. So like, I'm like, they're going to know I have a brown bag. So I was like carrying it behind me out to the car. And Oliver's like, I was kind of getting worried, Mom. I was like, I know. I go, well, they didn't have it I couldn't find it. So I went back and I must have left it when you were trying on those clothes. I'm like, totally fibbing because I was afraid that if I left and came back the next day, it wasn't going to be there. So I'm like, I never have an opportunity to do anything like this. But yeah. So it was late by the time we got home. It was very late. And then he had another late night last night with his cousin sleepover. So he was kind of grouchy and miserable. I'm like, you're kind of being rude to your cousin right now. I'm like, it's because you're overly tired. Like, I'm not going to let you have a sleepover with your friends if this is how grumpy you're going to be with your cousin. But yeah, As we go into holiday stuff, because I just overheard my kids, we've talked about the elf on the shelf in the past episodes and the whole Grinch on the shelf, which we did not do the Grinch. We were just elfing it up here. My kids just opened the door a little bit ago and they kind of had this worried look on their face. And I was just like, hold on a minute. Well, as you were talking, Katie, I could hear them singing Christmas songs in the bathroom. I'm like, what are they doing? One of them must have touched the elf because they have asked Alexa, they have asked before, like, what do you do if you touch the elf? And Alexa will tell them to put cinnamon out, sing Christmas carols, write a note. I think one of them touched the elf because they were in the bathroom singing to the elf. So I'm like, this will be interesting when I get off of this phone, when I get off of this podcast episode and figure out what my boys were doing since their dad's not home and they're just out there. We put the tree up the day after Thanksgiving. I believe maybe this is only the second time since the elf came, but that's a lot for the short amount of time that he's been here. So I'm like, boys, you're going to have to do a lot better.
So a friend of mine, she has a 1.5-year-old. Maybe he's almost 2. And then there's a big gap between him and her other 2 kids. And so she put a picture up, her like almost 2-year-old beheaded the elf. And she has a picture of the elf's head like on one side of the ground and its body elsewhere. And she put her kid's name and she's like, oh, I won't say the kid's name. She's like, oh no, blank, blank, blank. What did you do? It's like, oh, and knowing her daughter who like loves the elf, I'm like, oh my God, her daughter's going to freak that he beheaded the elf.
We have a pretty young kindergarten team. And a couple of them have elves. And my students have asked, where's ours? Yeah, I debated it. And when I was at Target before Thanksgiving, I thought, should I? And I'm so glad I didn't because there's too much else going on and I can't handle it. So, I like kind of brushed it off and was just like, I'm not visiting.
It's so much
But
work.
they all have elves at home too. It is a
Yeah.
ton of work.
I
It is
mean,
a
even
ton
at
of work,
home,
and
it's just, it moves. And every now and then it might leave a note. It's just, I can't do all the fancy stuff.
Mhm.
This will be perfect since if they actually did touch it, where the elf's going to be holding the remote, so they can't get up and turn the TV on first thing in the morning. But we just ordered a new remote that came that my husband's probably going to set up when he gets home tonight, but they don't know that. So they'll just think they can't turn on the TV. I'll be like, well, I bet he did that because you guys touched him. And he doesn't want you to watch TV. I
Mhm.
saw somebody the other day where they taped the elf to the back of their sweatshirt and then put a note that says, "Don't tell."
Yes.
How would you walk I thought
Yes.
about doing that this week, or not this week, but maybe the last week, and wear it to school just to see what kids would say. Like, "Oh, I don't know." Because then if you sit down, like, how are you I don't know. It
You've
looks
gotta
fun, but
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
know. Because I don't think I wanna do it all day
I
here.
thought
Because I could take it off. I could take the sweatshirt off. Well, no, I can't take it off at school because I see my kids at school.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Mm.
Hmm. Yeah, I
I
have
I
seen a lot
will
of
s
reels about that.
Go ahead.
There's also kits that you can buy that, like I don't know how much they are, and I'm not spending my money on it, but there's kits you can buy where it sets it up, day 1 is this, 2, 3, 4, all the way. And then you don't have to think of ideas, you just have to put the stuff out, and notes are already made and, like, all that, and, I mean, we've never had an elf at home, so I'm not gonna start it now, but, uh,
I will never forget
but I've heard
when yeah, Hayes was probably just maybe he was 1 or 2 because he was just walking, he was right at that height, and Oliver was going to we were at the dinner table, and Oliver got up to go let the dog out or in, and I turn around, and Hayes had grabbed it and was holding it, and I'm like, "Oh," and I, like, hurry up and, like, grab it and put it back because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my gosh, if Oliver turns around and sees Hayes just, like, dangling it," because Hayes was little enough, he had no clue that you couldn't touch it or what the elf even was. I'm like, "Gosh." It's like, "So, note to self, gotta put it up higher," which we have to do anyways because this dog here would chew it up, and that would be about the beheading. That would be just as
Yes.
bad. I would have to be like, "Amazon overnight, like, deliver between the hours of 4 and 8. Please bring me a new elf." I could
mhm.
not even imagine. Yeah. But it's like you talk about like all the extra work, and then I keep thinking about, because I know like my nephews, when they knew, the reality of Christmas, they still wanted to do the elf. They still looked forward to the elf. But I had like, I don't know about you, if you, Becky, have experienced this when you were in the 5th grade, or what you did when you came across this issue. And Katie, if you've had that with some kids. But this week I was talking about with my kids, I was like, oh crap, because I had ordered my nieces and nephews gifts. And they're like, I was like, I forgot to add the pink sunglasses. And one of my students goes, well, I thought you said that he was going to ask Santa for those. Well, he is. I said, but moms and dads give gifts too. And one of my other kids goes, well, I know what you really mean by that. And I look at him, and some of my other kids go, yeah, we all know the real truth. And I'm just like, shut up. Because like, not like, I guarantee I still have some 4th graders that still like, I hate it. When they start to have those conversations in the classroom, I try to be like, you know what? We don't talk about that here at school. Everybody's allowed to have their beliefs. And even Oliver in 2nd grade, he's like, Mom, everybody, like he's been asking a ton this year. He's like, everybody in my class says that he's not. And I hope I can catch him and take a picture this year to prove to my friends. And it just breaks my heart. Like, no, they're only little for one. And I know some people that are very like, they tell their kids up front really early on. And then I don't know. It's just so hard.
It's never really come up in 5th grade. We're like so pressured to continue our lessons, and like then, we're testing and like all that stuff. So it never really came up, but I always felt like my 5th graders here in Florida were more like grown up than they were when I was in my school in like near Chicago.
Yeah.
And but like also it's like weird because we wouldn't talk about my school that I worked at up north, like super diverse. I think I may have told you like 75 to 80 languages just in my district. So we didn't really like, we never had a Christmas show. We never like, they like just like didn't do that. We would celebrate all the holidays except Christmas, but like I could never put my Christmas tree up. So we never really talked about it because there weren't enough kids that celebrated Christmas,
Yeah.
like, and believed.
Mm.
So like it was kind of like a non-conversation. And then this year, it's not going to come up. They're too young.
Yeah.
So there was one year I was teaching 6th grade, and it was a like GT class. And our GT kids are known to be extremely sheltered. Some, not all, some. And I had a kid who still believed, and the rest of my kids knew. And I was like, oh no. I was like, you're almost 12. Like, I thought most kids knew. I didn't know what to do. I was like, and you could tell the kid was like, well, he's real, right? And I was like, how do I answer this? Like, I never thought I would have to encounter that. I thought that was, 4th and 5th grade, right? I didn't think it was going to be in a 6th grade room. And I was like, and so I don't know how, but we somehow tried to like change the subject. And then I had a group of girls in that class come up later, and they're like, Miss Leon, he doesn't know. And I was like, don't say anything. I was like, just don't talk to him about it. Like, don't say anything. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, that parent hasn't said anything. Like, I get, letting your kids find out on their own, but I was like, I do
But
not
also,
want to be the
how are
reason
they
this kid
finding out
finds
on their
out and I'm
own?
getting an email or a phone call.
Because
I'm
I
assuming
think
they're
I'd rather
friends, but
be,
I didn't want
but I
me
think
to be
I
the
would
reason.
rather, yeah, I would rather be the one that tells my kid than them finding out through other people. And I wish
Yes.
more parents would have those
I didn't
conversations with
want to
their
be that
kids.
person.
Yeah. I wish more parents would have those conversations with their kids. Like, hey, when the time's right and they do go to talk to them about it, like, when you're at school, we don't go around, we don't talk about it. We don't tell others that that, now, but let's let let's let parents tell the other kids. Like, I just wish that was more of a thing but their parents could tell them that too. And then kids go to school and then they do whatever they do because they're trying to fit in and be cool. So it's just hard.
I think we're on our last year of it here. Like
Even for your
I
youngest?
thought, no. He's fine.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's He's in here right now, but my
Okay.
older one, who's 9, I think we're on our last year of that. The thing is, growing up, I didn't celebrate Christmas, but I never had a thought one way or the other about Santa. Do you know what I mean? It never I never had I thought he was, and then he wasn't. I just never I don't know, it was just like a non-issue, and I don't ever remember talking about it with my friends either. 'Cause I grew up in the district that I taught in, and it wasn't as diverse as it is now, but, I just don't remember talking about it. It's very weird because my parents never talked about it. My friends never talked about it. But it's weird because then as a parent, I was like, I can't even ask my parents what they did be because they didn't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a weird situation. So I don't know, but I've seen a lot of things where, you can take your kid to, a special place and then give them, a letter that says, "Now you're, part of this older group that, understands, but you have to keep the magic for, for him." You know?
Mhm.
Like, so I think that's the route we're gonna take, and then I don't know what we're gonna do
But,
with him
So
when
I
he's
sit
there.
there
I don't
and I sit there and think about it, but I don't remember when my parents had that conversation with me. It didn't scar me, clearly. I don't, I think as parents, sometimes we worry about that. But like you said, I don't remember talking about it at school. I do remember having conversations with my cousins about it because they believed a lot longer than I did. And I'd be like, we would argue about it, but we were older, but I don't remember the moment that my parents told me. So I don't know how they did it. Half the time, I always found out things earlier because when my sister did, they just did both of us at the same time for the most part. But yeah, I don't remember it. So it must not have scarred me too bad, or it didn't scar me, or it must not have, I don't know. But yeah.
So I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and so I found out and I don't remember, I think I may have, walked downstairs and caught them putting out gifts or something, I think. But I vaguely remember a conversation of them telling me, "Hey, you can't say anything. We gotta keep it going for your
Oh,
sisters." And so
right.
then it was then me and my middle sister that, both knew, and we really had to keep it going for the little one. And then the little one, she found out, but she kept it going a whole other year because she's like, "Well, I want more gifts." And I was like, "Shelby, seriously?" And she's like, "Just this last year." She's like, "Let's just," and she told us, she's like, "Let's just keep it amongst us. We're going to keep it going one more year so we can get more gifts." And she's like, "And then next year we'll tell him that I know about Santa and we don't have to, put on the little, the shtick." And I was like, "Okay, fine." But
Funny.
I remember that year, the year that we kept up the fib that we thought she still, believed, and we kept keeping the fib going, I guess. Not the lie, but the
Yeah.
fib, right? But she knew, but she didn't wanna say anything because she wanted the more gifts. So I do remember that year. I think I had to have been in, 6th grade. No, maybe 7th grade. I think I was, in junior high when that happened. Because she found out, I think, a lot sooner than the other 2 of us, but that's because she had 2 older sisters, and we were, I think at that point it was harder for us, not harder for us to keep the secret, but, she found out a
Yeah.
lot sooner. But no, that I do remember that. There was one year that her last year, she knew, but she didn't know.
Yeah. So it's interesting because Becky, growing up Jewish, you had different traditions and holiday, things. Do you then, are you, or are you allowed? I know you said with kindergarten, you guys do a ton of stuff. Now, with our fourth grade, we don't get to do a lot of holiday stuff or teaching the different holidays or traditions. Our fourth grade show that we're doing talks about its holidays around the world. So they sing songs and they briefly talk about it. But as far as inside our classroom, we don't get to do that because we have to stick to the curriculum. And we actually just had a meeting on Friday and we got into that big debate about like, okay, is the expectation on that last day of winter break that we're still switching for reading and math groups and that we have to stick to the curriculum? Because let's be honest, like, are we not like, can we not do a holiday party or celebration because everything has to be standard based and basically like our school's on an improvement plan and that's why. But it's like, come on, like we will still have, I guess, holiday show that our drama club, we get to all go see that. But I did find out we are having dress up days that very last week. So that did get scheduled
Good.
and put out. So we do have dress up days that last week, but it's just, I miss, and I know it's because
Just
we're on an
1
improvement
week?
plan. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 1 week of dress up days too, but just for teachers, except the pajama days for the whole school. But
Yeah. Our
Y'all, we've
dress up
been
days
doing them
actually
all
for
last
kids
week.
too.
The district finally dropped one. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
No, like
but
all
Katie, we
campuses.
need pictures.
I have some.
Okay,
Like
well,
I wore, let's see, what did I wear? I wore my Grinch sweater this week. And then I wore another sweater that says joy. And then I wore a green one on Friday that said Mary. And then tomorrow I'm wearing another one with like a little head thingy. Like every day there is something.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I've been dressing up for
you
Christmas every
have,
single day,
yes.
every day. But that's just because I can, like, I want to, I have it,
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna do it.
No. And like the ladies in my hallway, like they love this. I mean, I told you my boss was like a former elementary principal and teacher.
Yeah.
So she's like, y'all, I have a whole closet ready to go. So she's got something every single day. I think I have something almost every single day. But yeah, no, we're like holidaying, Christmasing it up like in our hallway. So it's been fun. Um, and then this week starts the mini Christmas parties that we have. Like, I did not realize how many Christmas parties like admin puts on. I'm like, my gosh, y'all do like Christmas big.
That's
And then
because you're
all
so
this,
slow around your building.
I guess so. I don't know. But then even the schools, like they have so many dress up days and they're allowing the kids to do it. And yeah, like my boss was on a campus and she was like, there was hot cocoa and donuts. And oh, it was so funny. So she was helping with a spelling bee and she was calling out the names. And she goes, I felt so bad. The little boy who lost, he was upset. She goes, but she goes, I don't know what happened. Instead of going and consoling him, somebody said there was hot cocoa and wassail in the front office. And she goes, I just went straight to the front office because I thought hot cocoa. She goes, I forgot to go console the little boy. It's okay.
You know why
Good.
you
Yeah.
have so many holiday parties and holiday things? Because everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes.
That's it. There it is.
Oh,
I was going to say, we're
my
due for
friend,
some
my-
Texas update.
okay, this is perfect. All right. So today, actually right now, because he just texted me, one of my new friends who moved here from Vegas, him and his wife, we actually last night went to the Christmas parade in our town. They were talking about, they're like, oh, let's go. And at first I was like, okay, y'all go have fun. And I told my husband, I was like, let's go. Like, let's go with them and then we'll go out to dinner afterwards. And he's like, okay. And our other friend, she was solo parenting. And I was like, let's just go help her too with the kids. So we went out there and helped them. And it was funny because as the parade is going through, I'm saying, yep, I know them. Yep, I have a story on them. Yep. And they were like, how do you know? I was like, because I grew up here. Oh, I'm like telling all the people. And then the band came through and I was like, yep, I used to do that. I marched in the parade every single year. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah. So our friend James and Brooke, they're going to this, what would you call it? A Christmas town per se. And so it is about an hour and a half from here. It's close to College Station, which is where Texas A&M is. And it's called Santa's Wonderland. And if you look up Santa's Wonderland, it is like the mega Christmas town of lights and Santa and activities.
I knew he was on
And
it.
yeah, look, Becky's like, hold on, let me. So he goes, well, what holiday thing can we do here? And we're like, you got to go to Santa's Wonderland. So it's this like huge Christmas lights holiday town. I mean, you can think of anything holiday you want to do, they'll do it. They make the fake snow. I mean, they do everything. And so I think he just sent a picture of him there because they're going today. But You want to talk about everything's bigger in Texas? We do Christmas towns that are like huge. And the line to get in this place can be like miles down the road just to get in. But it's really pretty. And I always say go at least once. Um, we haven't had an inclination to go lately just because there's so many people and it's a lot. But James and Brooke hadn't been and they hadn't taken the kids. So I said, you got to go take the kids. So they are there today. We can't hear
Is
you,
it
Becky.
as overwhelming as the other market, the holiday
Nutcracker.
marketplace?
Nutcracker.
It
The
can
Nutcracker,
be.
yeah.
Like there can be a lot of people like that.
That it
So
looks like
this
there's
is one
ice
of
skating,
yes.
like tubing, like in
Mhm.
a inner tube with snow. A lot.
Like any activity you could possibly want to do.
Huh.
So is it like open to like anybody? Like they park and they could just walk? It's not like an admission
Yes.
fee, or is it like
There is an admission fee. So it's like $20 to get in. And then each activity could cost you more too. Or you could do like a bundle package and do, because they do carriage rides where they take you through the lights. You can meet Santa. You can see reindeers, ice skating, tubing. Oh my gosh, there's just like so much.
My hope this year is like you mentioned all the lights. I'm looking at all the lights. There is a lot of like not yeah, no, here too, but like where neighborhoods will or like organizations will like set up lights where you can drive through. But that's what this reminds me of. But that's like their electric bill is so high that they need to charge people to get in. Yeah, this is cool.
yeah?
It's
We always
really
just
cool.
do.
So
Yeah.
The zoo has a fantasy of lights that you can drive through. It's not through the zoo, but it's the park by the zoo. And we do that every year because we'll make a big thing of popcorn and the kids can get out of their seats. They don't have to like be buckled up, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've done a lot. We've done that a lot too. I think we will when we go up to Illinois. Right, we have like a pre-Christmas celebration. And when we go up to Illinois for my husband's family, I think we're gonna try and do that. Do you want to say hi? Want to wave hi?
Well, mine was just in here dressed as Glinda, and I was trying to get him to come over here. He's like, no, but he had his pink dress and his blonde curly wig on. And his dad, I knew, had just got home because I saw that the garage were open. So that'll be interesting when Dad walks in and he's dressed up as Glinda. Because Daddy doesn't like that, but whatever. Because yes, we did go see Wicked, and he loved it. So
It
it
was
was good.
good.
Katie, have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Yeah, it was so good. Personally, part one for me was a little more entertaining because there was more
Same.
music. But the
Yeah, this
story
was
in part
darker.
two, I felt like was better.
It was
Yeah,
darker. It had
still
more of a
really
plot
good.
to it.
darker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To add to our holiday madness, again, I don't know why I forgot this, but Friday, I think I told you guys earlier, we have our production of
Parade.
Snow White on Friday. So we're at school Tuesday for rehearsal, Wednesday for rehearsal, which we aren't normally, but it's like dress rehearsal week, and then Thursday for rehearsal, and then Friday is our production. So at school till 6, 6, 6, and then production at school till 9 p.m. And Tyler, my younger one, has a Christmas performance on Tuesday night. So from school, we are going to drive over to there's like at a church near his school, and do that on Tuesday night. And just like adding everything on there. I'm taking Friday like off to help with stuff for the play. And so somewhere in there, I have to figure out sub plans, something for them to do. Yeah. And then we have to get ready for Christmas. And like I said, we're going up for pre-Christmas to visit like one side of the family. And my in-laws are going up on Friday and they have an extra suitcase to bring up. So my mother-in-law was like, well, anything you want us to bring up, get it to us. And I was like, when am I going to have time to get any of the stuff for stockings, for gifts for other people? I don't know. It's gonna, and I don't like this because I want to shop locally, but I'm gonna have to order off of Amazon and just send it to my mother-in-law's house and then have to wrap it or whatever before we go. I don't have
Is there
Were
time.
you
like a
guys
way
there
you
on
can
Christmas
order
Day?
locally?
It's not gifts for my kids. It's gifts for, like, my niece, my nephew, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, like, um, we're doing, um, not a white elephant, but, like, a grab bag with all the women, and then the men are doing
Mm.
their own grab bag, um, and so, like, and then we're doing stockings, and so it's a lot of stuff to fly with. If we were driving, it wouldn't be an issue because we could just pack it. But since we're flying, and I think we're only each flying with a backpack because we're only going to be there for like 3.5 days, and I don't want to pay for a suitcase but I don't know. So it's a lot to get done. And I have a half marathon on Sunday. So let's add that. Yes. That's going to be the easiest part of this month, running a race. Yeah. So we're just adding everything into the mix. It's madness around here. And I'm delaying everything
Yeah.
because then I'm overwhelmed.
I know my sister, like with in-laws, like we stopped doing gifts like for each other. We just do like we buy for the nieces and nephews, but we don't buy for each other anymore, like my sister and I. Because it just got to
Hmm.
the point where like you're exchanging money. Like for a couple years we did like experiences. We would go out or do something and we've done that with the kids too.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just but I saw, have you seen those like date night ideas where the couple goes into like Target or whatever and they have to go and get like something from each category? I want to try to convince my
Yes.
husband that because we normally don't do much for each other or we're like from the kids. I was like, we should do like it's 5 categories. You have to get something like this that fits this, and then that's what we exchange Christmas morning. Like I think that would be fun. It wouldn't be a date night, but we would just go get them on our own terms, and then we would exchange them that day because we never
Yeah.
do anything really.
That's fun.
Mhm.
And then we wouldn't
Yeah.
be like thinking, what do
Uh,
they want? What do they need? Like we would have categories to like go off of. But we'll see. I'm gonna try to convince him. You never know.
yeah. I think that's more fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's fun and creative. And
Yeah.
yeah.
For
My
sure.
husband and I haven't even discussed if we're getting anything for each other. And I'm like, do we really need to? Can we please save our money for a vacation?
Yeah. It's always
That's all
hard
I
because like
want. I
my
just want a
husband's birthday is
vacation.
tomorrow. And I'm always like,
Oh,
all right, I gotta get you
Yeah.
something for December 8th and then turn around and half the time, like when Black Friday hits, he goes and gets the stuff that he wants anyway. So I'm like, how am I? So I always have to be really creative because he's just like my dad. Like, what do you want? I'm gonna get you something that you don't even use. Like, or it's, like the stuff we really need is all really expensive stuff. So like it would be more of a house purchase, like gift together. So and then like my niece's birthday is the 19th, so hers is right at Christmas time too. So I'm always having to like really get creative on gifts because they're always right there together. It's how my mom's
yeah. My
birthday
niece's
is close
birthday
to
is on the
Mother's Day, so it's
27th.
like
Yeah.
The last couple years, I combined Christmas and birthday for Omar, and I was like, "Look," because I wanted bigger gifts. So, like last year, I upgraded my Garmin watch, and I got a newer Garmin. And then this year, I wanted two, like a racing shoe and a nicer, like another Nike. So I wanted two expensive pairs of shoes. So it's like there's my Christmas and my birthday like combined.
yeah.
So because he made the comment, he was like, I was like, no, 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 I don't want anything. Like, you got me what I needed and slash what I wanted. So we just kind of combined the two.
Yeah. I just got a new pair of running shoes. So I feel like that's good. I needed them because otherwise
Mhm.
my feet were going to hurt during the race. And I said, I can't do that.
As we talk about gift ideas and thinking about the classroom stuff too and like the holiday bustle, do you do gifts for your students? What do you typically do?
I haven't in the past. The last 3 years, I had like my homeroom, but then like I switched with my partner teacher, and
Mm-hmm.
so I had 50 kids, and I couldn't just get for my so like I just didn't. I think I gave like candy canes or something. But I think this year, well, we'll see if it happens. Um, I'm gonna give them each an ornament. And my thought is that I've seen this a lot. I would take their picture and then put it on Canva and like shadow it out, like black it out, and
Mhm.
then
The
cut it
silhouettes.
out with my Cricut. Yeah, because I have
Yeah.
I have a lot of, like, the flat, like, clear ornaments, and so that might be the easiest thing to do. I feel like I need to do something because then they're gonna keep that forever, and we
Mhm.
still have the ornament that Carson's kindergarten teacher made for him. I'm like, "We're always gonna remember her and, like, that experience," so I feel like kindergarten teachers are more like, that, like, core memory. Everyone remembers their kindergarten teacher, and so but, like, when? I don't know, so I'm just gonna have to figure it out.
I know.
There might not be a lot of instructing in the next couple of weeks because I've gotta take their pictures and then get them all onto Canva and do all that.
Yeah.
So,
Because like when I taught
but
first
yes,
grade, like,
short answer.
yeah, we had the kids create something so that they would have gifts to give their parents. So they always created two
We're
things
doing
so
that
that
too.
they could give one to mom and one to dad, on top of us then getting something for them. And then like this year, like
Mhm.
now that I teach fourth grade, we don't really have them make stuff for their parents. But every year we've done something a little different. Like this year, my soft start that I do, the kids are always going for Play-Doh. I'm like, okay. So I ended up ordering like they're like little mini slime, like so but it's like the buttery stuff. So and then it's got like the sprinkle and like a Christmas trap so they can kind of like create their own little Christmas or
Mm.
holiday. I'm like, that's easy. It was like a buck a piece and they always go for the Play-Doh. So it seems like I almost got them 6, 7 ornaments, but I didn't. It would have been fitting.
Oh my gosh, you say 6, 7. The amount of people in that parade last night that were doing the 6, 7. I mean, if
'Cause
I
it's
would have
the
bet,
6,
I would
7
have been a
weekend.
millionaire last night because
It is.
every single one of them
Yeah.
were like, 6, 7, 6, 7. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then my friend James taught his little girl 6, 7. So she's like doing 6, 7. And Brooke was just like, "Oh my God." And we're just laughing. We think it's hilarious. Which, funny thing, she's almost 3 and she doesn't call Santa Santa. She calls Santa Ho Ho. So she points and she goes, Ho Ho. And it's the cutest thing. I think it's so cute and so funny. And Brooke's just like, well, we just kind of go with it and go, okay. And the funny thing is, they used to live in Vegas. So she's like, at least now we're here in Houston and, we're not in Vegas where she goes, ho ho.
Whoa. Like, what's
That
Santa's
is perfect.
favorite snack?
Classic.
A ho-ho.
Hmm.
Perfect.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so I also forgot we were in our, town's Christmas parade last
Yes.
night. But this was like the thing is, this was like Becky in June that applied for it and said, "Oh, we'll do it. Like, it's gonna be fine." And then we got to it, and I was like, "How are we gonna do this?" And so we constructed everything on Friday, and then had to deconstruct it to drive it over to the parade site, and then reconstructed it. But it was our one windy day yesterday, so then we had to redesign it and it worked out really well. But I had a bunch of student council kids that I let walk in the parade, and like beforehand, they were all like 6, 7. I'm like, no, okay, we're done with this.
Yeah. Was it so for your float, was it for your school? Like it was your school's float
Mhm.
or was it okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
mhm.
wondering like
Yeah. It's the first float.
who all was involved?
So yeah, I applied for it before I knew who my admin was because we had brand new admin this year, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and if my admin says no, then we won't do it. But they were all for it, and then I say that I did it because I head up student council, but I mean, anyone could do a float for our school. It really wouldn't matter. But yeah, it was for our school. And then I said, okay, next year we're going to have, we're going to design it and then we will just build it the day of because we had 2.5 hours before the parade even started that we had to be there. And we're just going to construct it there. A couple of inflatables and a banner, and we're good to go. And lights. And that is just going to be easy. And then our school gets to be in the parade. And I think it only lasted we were 29 out of 70 units. And so we were done in 45 minutes. And then you have to deconstruct everything at the end anyhow to make it road worthy
Mhm.
to bring it back home. So yeah, we're just gonna add that to the holiday magic. and madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just signed up for all the
it's
things that happen
it's
at
a
the
lot to
same
do with.
time.
I don't know why. Well, like I said, it was June Becky that thought this was a really good idea and didn't realize that 6 months later, it was gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
Isn't it
And
funny
I
how
didn't
our
know what
summer
kindergarten was gonna
selves,
be like. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
our summer
Yeah.
selves are like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all gung ho, and then we get into the thick of things, and we're like, what in the world? Like, I just signed up to do my science and literacy like praxis test that I have to have, and I'm like, I'm not doing it till June, like the last week of June, because I can't study for something right now. Like on top of being a mom and teaching, and especially now that we're doing these switches and creating stuff, like give me at least 2 solid weeks of summer where I don't have distractions besides my kids, but I can deal with that I can actually study, and then I'll take it. So
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
even think about something like that right now.
It's not in the cards at all. So next week we get to talk about holiday traditions, which might not make us so anxious, but it makes us feel all warm and cozy inside with all of our holiday traditions.
Thanks for sipping and sharing a moment with us today. We can't wait to keep showing up with you each week. Messy, caffeinated, and real.
And if you liked what you heard, we'd be so grateful if you'd follow, subscribe, or share this with your teacher, bestie, mom, group chat, or training partner, or all three. It helps more people find our little corner of chaos and connection.
And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Espresso Yourself Podcast. Tell us what resonated, share your own stories, what topics you want us to cover, or just come say hi.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode.
Until next time,
Keep showing up.
Keep giving yourself grace.
And espresso yourself.
one sip at a time.
Cheers.